wondering if my rotation,
Mm-hmm.
if these, so, if any of these, I was trying to remember actually tripling some of these. Were you hearing that?
Actually don't I don't think I heard triplets, but I could be spacing out a little bit. I might, when I actually work on it intently, I might notice it.
It might be this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did this, I was doing this dot at eighth note.
Oh, maybe. Right.
But it might not be. Ba, 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 ba. See what this.
Was that
No,
no?
no.
So
So it's not that.
okay.
Ba, 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 ba.
I'll report back to you.
So this is to kind of step up a second. This is project. Okay?
You're the best.
I'll work on that and we'll accomplish.
You are the best. Absolute best.
At some point we'll go into this together. Actually I put with here. I think this here was yours. If you remember to take it. There's a workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Not the one I'm at, but I'm gonna submit something for a workshop
Oh, wonderful.
at our convention. I can submit two,
Mm-hmm. Two pieces?
two pieces. But I'm not going to be able to play. I could bring my guitar and play stuff, but I have to pay that tuition fee.
Mm.
So I have to go back and think about what I want to think about the ones we've already done, or this one if we got time to turn it around if we need to. And the deadline's the 14th.
14th of April?
We would have to record. I'm leaving town next week. It's not.
Mm.
It's too rushed.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones we've done already.
Yeah.
Plateau is simple. The first part of it, but then you get all kinds of wacky chords.
Mm-hmm.
So it might behoove us to. I can submit the same recording,
Mm-hmm.
and then
middle. 11. So Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We're in a moment going to light the Shabbat candles. And as the transition, segue, introduction to that, I want to call up our newest Cub Scout, Jack Murphy. Come on up, Jack. Do you know that's you? I know you know that. So, Jack just recently earned his Aleph pen and Aleph emblem. That's right. Okay. And are we going to pin that on you, Jack? And we're going to say something about it? You want the cancer to do it for you?
Oh, no, I don't have this.
Oh, no, what? Okay. Hey, wait, did we have to get a microphone? Cancer for... Okay, so you're pinning that on, Jack. And, where's the microphone? Oh, there it is, right there. It's an amazing achievement to become a Cub Scout. And I want us to begin this journey into light by Jack sharing the oath, right? Your what?
And the law.
And the law, right. His Cub Scout oath and the law.
Now, time for the oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to honor all people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What could be more religious, more reverent, more inspiring?
And the Scout law now.
Go for it.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
That's a Scout. It would be a perfectly wonderful high description of a Jew as well. So, Jack, it's a privilege for me and a pleasure to get to stand with you up here as we celebrate your receipt of the Aleph emblem, and this is his plaque, and you want to read the sentence that's there?
Yes. Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It represents God the Creator, a profound mystery and unity and harmony. It denotes the beginning of a journey to gain knowledge.
Beginning of a journey to gain knowledge. So many really inspiring ideas that are conveyed in this statement you read about Aleph as the first letter. And I actually want to add one additional idea, because this idea is going to connect the Aleph. You're receiving this major step forward in your scouting journey, and the lighting of the candles, because what the candles give off is or, which begins with the letter
Aleph.
Exactly. And all of you don't have this, but your mom and your grandparents do. And I want us together. You guys can look at any Aleph in the prayer book if you want to be reminded what it looks like. But Jack, I want you to look at this Aleph, and actually it's not one letter, but it's three. Do you understand what do I mean by that? What's this letter here?
Yud.
So what he's pointed out is that the Aleph has a line down the middle and then a little chupchik kind of thing that's at the right top and the bottom left. And Jack just noticed, very wisely, we haven't talked about this before, that the letter on the right upper, above the line is a yud. And what's this letter here below? It's also a yud, right?
Yes.
Okay, so our tradition tells us something so beautiful, and actually your oath, the Scout's oath and the Scout's law speaks to this beautifully, that the yud above the vav is the yud representing to
God.
exactly, and the yud below this line represents us. He doesn't know this. Jack does not know this. I mean, maybe you do actually. Maybe you knew it without me even sharing with you. And what does a vav in Hebrew mean? Judy? And. The vav means and. The vav is the ultimate connector. It's the ultimate connector. And so in this letter, Aleph, you have 3 letters actually, and this is the mission of every scout, and the mission of every human being, and the mission of every Jew, that I, being that holy spark of God down here, my mission here is to try to be part of that bridge that connects us to God. It's in the artistry of one letter that your Scout's oath captures as well. Okay? So I hope, Jack, that you'll always feel that, recognize, and really just love, honestly, how the Aleph that you've just received, it connects to the word or in Hebrew, which is light, and you are a young man who is so full of light, and you radiate it to everyone around you. You're going to read your little message to us now?
I have to thank Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Tara, and Rabbi Ross for helping me with my Aleph emblem, which I am very thankful for. They have all helped me cross the finish line.
Awesome. And we're both grateful to Cantor Adam, who's helped us every week and so many times as well. And now I think, Jack, we're going to ask you to come down to light the candles with your grandparents and your mom, and we are very proud of you. So come on up, friends. All right, we're on page 2. First, we'll light. Who's going to do the lighting? Jack, you're good. You've spent many nights, or no? Would you rather your mom light? Your
He probably
grandma?
has a merit badge for this.
He's all these badges. Later, after services, we'll get to hear about your badges. Okay, someone's got to come forward and light the candle. Light the match. Great. Thank you, Jen.
Do I like this, or do I like this?
You can just do it whichever way you prefer. Presumably the match will work. There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Page 2. Go for it. Oh, the other one too.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah. Whoops, it's all right. Here, you can use this. Yep, there we go.
Oh, gee.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. That doesn't need to be lit. It's all right. We have all these ancient traditions from Mount Sinai. Go for it.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lihadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. You want to read the English, Jack?
Baruch.
The English? It's all right.
Sorry about that. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Beautifully done. May you have many, many, many years ahead of lighting candles, bringing light, feeling connected to all the light that you spread, and may you know how grateful we are to you and proud of you. Okay. Thank you.
Page 12. We begin our journey through the Psalms. Lechu nerhanena l'Adonai, nariya letzoi ishenu, mekadma fanav betodah, bizmirot nariya lo, mekadma fanav betodah, תריע לו, כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים, אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ, ותועפותרים לו, אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ, ותועפותרים לו. Page 13. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, מסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני וכולם מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים, ואדוני שמיים עשה, הוד והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים, לא, ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים, לא, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל הצייר, לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, וימין באמונתו. אדוני מלך תגל הארץ, ישמחו איים רבים, אוהבי אדוני שנאו רע, שומר נפשות חסידיו, מיד רשעים יצילם. אור זרוע לצדיק, וישרה לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק, Page 16. זמרו לאדוני בכינו, בכינו וקול זמרה. זמרו לאדוני בכינו, בכינו וקול זמרה.
וכל זמרה זמרו לאדוני בכינור וכל זמרה בחצוצרות וקול שופר הריעו לפני המלך אדוני ירם הים ומלואו תבל ויושביה נחרות עמך וכף יחד הרים ירננו
Mountains sing.
לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים במישרים.
Page 18.
מזמור לדוד אהבו לאדוני בני אלי אהבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז אהבו לאדוני כבוד שמו השתחוו לאדוני בחדרת קודש כל אדוני על המים אל הכבוד ירים אדוני על מים רבים כל אדוני בכוח כל אדוני בהדר כל אדוני שובר ארזים וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון מה ירקידם כמו עגל לבנון וסיריון כמו בין רעמים כל אדוני חוצים לאבותש כל אדוני יחיל מדבר יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יחלל איילות מה יחסוד יעמוד והיכולו כולו אומר כבוד אדוני למבול ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
Lecha Dodi, page 20.
לך דודי לקרא קהלה פני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקרא קהלה פני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד היא שמיינו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשמו תפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת קהלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה בני שבת לקבלה. Verse 2 לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור ברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. 21. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. Verse 9, please rise and greet one another and the Sabbath bride in the spirit of peace that we hope is in our midst. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
Page 22.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיקת
Middle of the page.
אמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון ישדה. שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוננו בשמחה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו. להגיד כי אשר אדוני צורי ולא הבלטה בו. Rabbi, I'm just thinking about that twice in this psalm, in Psalm 92, we have this word lahagid,
Ah, nice.
Lehagid. Does anyone know what lehagid means?
What holidays?
I'll give you a hint. Yeah, there's a holiday coming, and that word actually tells us something about
Lehagiding.
lehagiding. To tell, and Haggadah is the word I'm looking for. That's the $500
Great.
Jeopardy word.
Jeopardy. Ah, nice.
And so as we start to think ahead toward this holiday, we start getting hints of it throughout our service, including in the next prayer we're going to do, which is Shalom Aleichem on page 26. We'll see if you hear it. יתקדש ויקדש שמי רבה
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, מבורך לעולם, מבורך לעולם, ולעולמי עלמיה. לי, 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 יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילמים כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
Please rise for the Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Are you listening to my prayer? Baruch Hu et Adonai Mevorach. Baruch Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai, dai.
Page 30. Together, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being and skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravi.
32.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם בלילה נגה יומם בלילה ויהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד
36, please be seated.
נא לשבת. ויאהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת ואמונה וחזור וקיים.
Before we offer Micha Mocha on page 40, I want to just reflect on what Micha Mocha is about and connect it to this horrible event on Dizengoff Street last night. Micha Mocha is our prayer for redemption. Many have said before, even when we're in Israel, we haven't experienced, created redemption. Micha Mocha is the, exodus from Egypt, and we are baderach on our way to the land of Israel, to creating our home. And so it's a horrific thing that happened last night. As I often want to do, I want to focus on something positive, and I think if you read what leaders of many countries around the world, Western countries in particular, of course Tony Blinken, profound quotes in support of the state of Israel and internalizing the tragedy, the horror of what happened. The Great Britain, Austria, Germany, France, the UN, EU, all put forward very, very serious, statements of outrage and unity with the Jewish people and the Jewish state. And we haven't arrived even when we've arrived. Trying to create redemption is the real meaning, the real prayer of Micha Mocha. We'll offer that on page 40.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגואלו מי החזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל
42 Ashkivenu.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Ve'amidenu shomreinu Shomreinu lechaim Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Ve'amidenu shomreinu Shomreinu lechaim Ufros aleinu Sukat shlomecha Ufros aleinu Sukat shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai Aborei Sukat Shalom Aleinu Ve'al kol amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim
Page 44, Shamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ את הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם לדורותם ברית עולם.
Why don't we turn to page 46 and rise for our standing prayer, the Amidah.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ויגיד תהילתך אדוני open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וגונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. And for one more week, משיב הרוח ומועיל הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עבר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Amen. We take a moment for our own personal prayer. The prayers on the page, meditations of our heart, will come together in a few moments with Oseh Shalom.
If you've finished your private meditations, feel free to join me on the bottom of page 62, but feel free to continue at your own pace. Oseh shalom shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amen. Amen. Oseh shalom shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael amen. שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
Thank you, Cantor. We opened tonight, Cantor sang for us, Kol Dodi Hine Zeba. Behold, the voice of my beloved is coming. Kol Dodi Hine Zeba. Kol Dodi Behold, the voice of my beloved is coming. And this is a verse from the Song of Songs, Shir Shirim, which is recited in many communities every Friday night. It's also the book in the Bible that is associated with Passover. Behold, the voice of my beloved is coming, and what's it sound like? Is it quiet, gentle, soft? Is it strong and powerful and demanding? I'll come back to this thought before I close. I want to go back a whole bunch of years. From my childhood and well into my 30s, maybe 40s, my two most important colors were scarlet and gray. After all, I grew up in the land of the Buckeyes. Scarlet and gray country, that was mine, Columbus, Ohio. The colors I avoided the most were, anyone know? A bunch of you know. Maize and blue. Who said that? Someone. Maize and blue. Ah, right, David, thank you. Maize is the yellow golden color of corn. The maize and blue were the perennial competition, the ones who so often dashed our greatest dreams or, through our victory, let us fulfill our highest hopes. Let me just say it, maize and blue was the hated enemy. For fans of college sports, you know the bitter rivalry between Ohio State and Michigan, between the Buckeyes and the Wolverines, or maybe you don't, but as a kid in those days, we knew well to keep the Michigan colors as far away as possible. But not in these days. And these days, they are truly beloved colors. These days, I hope we will color our Great Neck zip codes blue and yellow, maize and blue. I hope these colors will light up, will define our community for as long as this horrific criminal genocidal effort continues. On this Sunday morning at 11 a.m., I'm hoping that 100 folks come out from across the Great Neck community with signs like Great Neck for Ukraine, the Great Neck Chinese for Ukraine, the Great Neck Russians for Ukraine, Jews, Christians, people of all religious persuasions. On Sunday morning, I'll try to distribute 10 Ukrainian flags to each person. Together we'll cause, God willing, 1,000 flags, blue and yellow, maize and blue. They'll fly in 1,000 front yards or storefronts in Great Neck. I hope every one of you will invite will encourage your neighbors to prominently display maize and blue in their yards? Any of you watching online? Who knows Google Maps can show the world that the colors of Great Neck of Long Island are the blue and gold, the maize and blue of Ukraine? To be honest, I feel so much rage and anger. My rage is so intense I could scream. We should all scream, it seems to me. How is it that a man, that any human being, can destroy the lives of millions of people and get away with it in 2022? Will he get away with it? Will he never face justice? God forbid a man can destroy the infrastructure, the buildings, homes, lives of millions of people and never suffer from justice. The feelings inside of rage and bitterness for me are so intense. I know that rage and anger, it's not really a feeling, or let's say it's not a primary feeling. Rage and anger are a reaction, a response, often a cover to what are primary feelings, like sadness and fear. They are primary feelings. For me, the secondary feeling of anger sometimes, I have to admit, conceals the primary feeling of fear. But I have to speak tonight again about Ukraine. It's just too horrifying for me to be silent. According to ABC News, Newsweek, New York Times, even Al Jazeera and many other outlets, Mariupol officials accused Russia of attempting to cover up the killing of possibly tens of thousands of civilians by how? Using mobile crematoria to burn the bodies of those they've slaughtered. These images, of course, raise the specter of the 20th century's most horrific crime. A number of Ukrainian MPs made a range of very, striking comments to me, in my mind. This is not war, this is genocide. When the world sees Mariupol, you won't have enough tears. Here, by the way, is Oxford's definition for genocide: the deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group. Consider these statements in the last weeks or months from Vladimir Putin. Ukraine actually never had a stable tradition of real statehood. Ukraine is not just a neighboring country for us, it's an inalienable part of our own history, culture, and spiritual space. Since time immemorial, the people living in the southwest of what has historically been Russian land have called themselves Russians. Ukraine was entirely created by Russia, or, to be more precise, by Bolshevik communist Russia. Lastly, the disintegration of our united country was brought about by the historic strategic mistakes on the part of the Bolshevik Soviet leaders. The collapse of a historical Russia known as the USSR is on their conscience. The Ukrainian identity is the virus of nationalism. Isn't it just so shocking? Like a whole sermon about Russian nationalism and then concluding with the virus of nationalism. So remember Oxford's definition of genocide: the deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group. Putin has definitely, absolutely committed war crimes under international law based on Oxford. It seems highly likely as well he's guilty of genocide. And in this Jewish season, with the month of Nisan having arrived last week, next Friday night, 1 week from tonight, our Passover Seder, first Seder, genocide is quite a relevant subject for us. Let me remind you of chapter 1 of Exodus. A new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph, and he said to his people, "Look, the Israelite people are much too numerous for us." So they set taskmasters over them to oppress them with forced labor. And they built garrison cities for Pharaoh, for Pithom and Ramses. The Egyptians ruthlessly imposed upon the Israelites the various labors they made them perform. The Egyptians made life bitter with harsh labor at mortar and bricks, with all sorts of tasks in the field. What's the mortar connect us to? Exactly. Haroset, yeah, exactly. Maror. When that didn't work, all that didn't work, Pharaoh said to the Hebrew midwives, when you deliver the Hebrew children, if it's a boy, kill him. If it's a girl, let her live. And when that didn't work, Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every boy that is born you shall throw into the Nile, but let every girl live. Probably genocide. Certainly genocidal intention. So what's our Jewish response to genocidal intentions? For a few minutes, I want us to think about many of our Seder rituals. The cantor did such a wonderful job with you, Shai, bringing some of our Seder melodies. I want us to think about our Seder rituals and about the insight that I think connects them all. The insight, the thread. There's multiple threads and insights. We're going to focus on one. Halachman, halachmania, diachalu. This is the bread of poverty and affliction. It's one of the first moments in the Haggadah, in the Seder. This is the bread of affliction. Avadim ayinu. We were slaves. Vehi she'amda lavotenu velanu. What's that? In every generation, someone comes against us. Some evil person comes against us to wipe us out. Just three of our Haggadah prayers and songs. The Seder is the quintessential guide to dealing with what we're facing today, our lives and our world, with our anger and rage and also our fears and worries and anxiety. What we do on Passover, friends, is not history. The Haggadah, the Seder, is not a history lesson. It's not even really about our past. It's not a sweet exercise in eating our grandparents' food. Rather, our Seder in 2022 is about 2042, 2062, or maybe just 9 months from now or 6 months from now. It's not about the past, but the present and, of course, the future. The Seder is about our freedom tomorrow, not yesterday. It's about justice today. Why do we sing those songs every year over and over? Because the Seder is about sustaining our energy for the depressing but deadly fight in front of us. We sing every year to fortify ourselves today and tomorrow in our war against dictators and killers, against men who inspire hate and lies. Our Seder, in truth, is meant to strengthen our resolve, to help us overcome our fatigue or our unwillingness to persevere. The Haggadah's goal is to help us overcome our understandable instinct to look the other way. The mission of the Seder is justice. The mission of the Haggadah is to help us choose the Kol Dodi. Kol Dodi. The beloved voice of justice and freedom. Sometimes the beloved voice is a voice of romance. These days, I think, the Kol Dodi must be that passionate, relentless voice of power that can defeat. Our Seder is about our future. It's not about our past. Let me remind us all of a few more Seder highlights, particularly our Seder plates. Matzah, maror, the shank bone. Matzah, why do we have matzah? There's no time for the dough to rise. This again is our bread of affliction. The maror, we already said it. The charoset, we have maror because we had to make bricks with even less material. Pharaoh cut back on the material and told us to make more bricks. So why are those the foods we eat? Why was it so important in the Torah itself that those are the items on our Seder plates? Our Haggadah says, Bechol dor vador, in every generation, chayav adam lerot et atzmo. Every generation, I am obligated to see myself. You, each of us, is obligated to see ourselves as if ki'ilu ani yotzet mimitzrayim. I went out. I am going out from Egypt. Every one of us. That's the fundamental obligation of the Seder. And if that's the obligation, then why not actually internalize, consume the foods that symbolize it? There's no better way than to eat the foods that define the experience of 3,000 years ago. I had the great pleasure 10 days, 2 weeks ago, being on a Zoom with Dr. Edie Eva Eger. She's the author of The Choice and a survivor of the Holocaust from Auschwitz and Mengele. And in our conversation, she had a couple amazing little pithy quotes. She said, you can't heal what you don't see, what you choose not to see. Don't be a gonna person. I'm gonna. She had many more, but I'm just sharing 3. You have your secret, and then your secret has you. I think that Dr. Egger, her Torah, her insights are so powerful right now. We must see our suffering. We must have the courage, the perseverance to confront the terrible threats before us. We've been fighting, we Jews, struggling to do this for 3,000 years. We've been fighting not just tyrants, but we've been fighting the relentless human instinct to quit, to stop noticing, to forego our demand for justice. It's so normal, actually, to accept that power will rule the world, that might is right. It's normal. It's normal to banish God and human freedom and human dignity from our lives and our values. That's what we humans have usually done throughout history. In truth, what we Jews do and what the Haggadah proclaims, what our Seder plate presents, is bizarre, it's radical, it's profoundly countercultural. Every one of us has a reason to stop paying attention. It's too heavy. It's too much to carry. It weighs too much. 1 month is about all I can bear. Who doesn't feel fatigue? Who doesn't need a break from it all? We all do. The matzah, the maror, the range of songs, they're really not only to feel good, to reminisce, to feel a sweet connection to our grandparents. So my point tonight is just that we try not to succumb. These rituals and symbols and melodies are about the most serious issues of our time. We can't close our eyes or get tired. This moment, more than maybe any moment in the last 75 years, requires our perseverance. And for anyone who's paid attention, I'm certain it's every one of you. Just 24 hours ago, Ketanji Brown Jackson was confirmed as the next Supreme Court Justice. And she has a piece of advice for young people who feel like they don't know if they have what it takes. I don't know if it's worth it. And she said that if she has any one word of advice for young people, it's the word persevere. I pray that we in Great Neck, in America, in the civilized world, will listen to the voice of Judge Jackson and not the pummeling voice of Putin's bombs and lies and devastation. The voice of perseverance must defeat the voice of fatigue, of powerlessness, of a godless world. Kol dodi hine zeba. The voice of my beloved is coming. We Jews have heard that voice of justice, of human dignity, even as Pharaoh's pressure on us grew heavier and heavier. We Jews have come to trust that voice, even as the burdens of slavery grew more and more intense, even when the drumbeat of anti-Semites could cause us to quit, to do what so many others have done throughout human history. as I come to my close, I want to return to colors, not scarlet and gray, of course, but maize and blue, blue and gold. For some of you, it's not just Michigan, because those gold and blue colors evoke another favorite team. And I think it's not the Yankees, but the Mets. How many of us would fly the flag of the Mets or Yankees or Wolverines or Buckeyes? Obviously, my point is, if we go to the effort to fly flags of our favorite teams or favorite universities, I beg you, spread the blue and gold of Ukrainian flags to 10 of your fellow Great Neck friends, residents, strangers, owners of some business, local business. I believe that Passover is telling us, don't get tired, don't succumb to the fatigue, don't let ourselves feel totally overwhelmed. Every one of us can transform our spirit into colors that shine and that proclaim to the world we will never give up on justice, freedom, and human dignity, the pillars of our faith and religion. As a Jew, to give up on justice and freedom and human dignity is to give up on God. Let the blue and maize of Ukraine stand proudly in our front yards and proclaim our commitment to justice and freedom and human dignity, and take a video. Post your voice, your video, your picture to hashtag Great Neck Ukraine Flags. Who knows? Maybe Manhasset will notice, or Manhattan and Miami. Maybe Montreal and Memphis. Maybe Tokyo and Toronto or Paris, or London and Los Angeles or Berlin or Bogota. The hope, the possibility of spreading the voice of perseverance, the voice of the beloved, that is a powerful voice of all the songs and symbols of Passover. Behold, the voice of my beloved is coming. Kol dodi hine ze ba. That's the voice that we must hear. That's the voice I pray we will do our part in bringing to the world. Shabbat Shalom. We rise and turn to page 287 for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככולם עונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. As always, remember loved ones. On this Shabbat, you may probably know that as the result of last night's terror shooting on Dizengoff Street was that 3 Israelis were killed. I'm fairly certain that all 3 were buried. On a just personal note, Adina was actually right next to this restaurant 24 hours earlier, and many of us probably have friends, family, people we know, don't realize we're in the vicinity very recently. These 3 Israelis, Barak Lufin, Tomer Morad, Eitam Magini, I haven't seen his name in Hebrew, but Magini is the way we write it in English. We remember them this week. As I said, I'm fairly certain they were buried today. In the period of Shloshim, remember my beloved Ima, Devorah Batia, And remember those whose yortzeit falls on this Shabbat or during this week. David Shodash, Anna Feinzig Green, Adrian Grodberg, Louis Kahn, Rose Landsberg, Stanley Markowitz, Michael Nevins, Eleanor Newmark, Elaine Pakdar. Is Ina here?
Mhm.
Oh, there she is. Yeah. Edith Prenalek, Ellie Sarfati, Anna Schwartz, and David Sakel. If you're here remembering someone whose name is not on the list, would like to rise and share their name, please feel free to do so, anyone? And if it's your custom to rise with the mourners, please do so. We're on page 294, 294. Yitgadal, Yitkadash Shemer Rabba.
Amen.
V'yalma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Bagala v'zman kariv v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehi
Yehi Shemei Rabba
mevorach
Mevorach Le'olam
Olamei
Olamei
Almaya.
Almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemei d'kudesha b'rechu.
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Medamiran b'yalma v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel. And let us say one last time, Amen.
Amen.
Okay, you can be seated. A few thank yous before we call Jack, you, and your mom and your grandparents up to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. You can come up now. You want to offer the announcements, but I'm gonna offer a few announcements first. First of all, thank you to our wonderful Oneg bakers, Linda Diamond, Roberta Lulav. Roberta, you're here. Cheryl Silverstein, Debbie Sutton. Debbie, you're here through your husband. Sandy Gretsch, thank you to all of you. Thank you to the Margoloff family for the challah, lighting candles. Jennifer and Jack, you and your wonderful, amazing grandparents, grandma and grandpa. Let's see. Cantor, help me on terms of what's coming up tomorrow morning. Torah study in person and online in Shabbat Minyan. Do you want to jump in or?
Tomorrow morning, Torah study Shabbat Minyan. In person and
Online,
but mostly in person.
Mostly in person. Next week, Friday night. It's
Hold
going to
on,
be
wait. Can I skip to
Do it.
jump back to Sunday?
Yes. Oh, good point.
It's mitzvah day.
I was going to come there, but
Oh,
I'm
oh,
just
I just-
following. I'm just following
Following
instructions
the order.
here.
It's out of order.
It's all right. It is out of order. But since we're talking about Erev Shabbat, that's, I think, why it's in this order. Next Erev Shabbat, there's one service at 5 p.m. We've done this several years. Every year there's been that the first Seder is on Friday night. And it'll be 5 p.m.
In short.
And short. One wonderful thing about it is that it will be led neither by Cantor Davis nor by Rabbi Meir, but someone who's in many ways, most ways, better than both of us. That would be Rabbi Tara. Certainly better than I. I shouldn't say that about Cantor. Anyway, so that's Friday night. Okay, everybody clear? No 7 o'clock service, 5 o'clock service, led by Rabbi Tara. Short, and off to our respective.
I should emphasize, not short for any particular reason other than Erev Chag, if it falls on a Friday night, it's short. We don't do Kabbalat Shabbat. We like 2 Psalms.
Exactly. Okay. Sunday online, Lev Shalom Yoga series online. Sunday morning, I'll start actually at 11 a.m. at the Village Green is our flag experience. It's not a parade. We're going to gather at 11. There'll be, I think, a range of people from Great Neck. And the goal is to inspire folks, each person to take 10 flags and find 10 people to give them to and take videos and publicize it. Very nice, Cantor. Well done. And turn Great Neck as maize and blue, as gold and blue as we possibly can. That's at 11. And we're going to be back at Beth-El by 12:30 for Mitzvah Day. Jack, you're at Kulanu tomorrow morning. Okay, anything more? And tomorrow morning as well, there's great at Mitzvah Day. The Grateful Food Packing, Whitney Pond cleanup, blood drive tomorrow morning. Sunday. I meant Sunday, thank you, not tomorrow. Okay, for anybody, any of us Y chromosomes, they say the Y is just the broken X. You're supposed to laugh about that. I didn't make that up. But anyway, Men's Passive Experience, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Lots of other stuff going on. You can read it. Anything I'm leaving out that you want to add, Cancer?
If you live at North Shore Towers, we're having a gathering on Tuesday. And also Om, having our pre-Shabbat meditation music midday. It's occasional. That's why we call it Om.
Om. Great. Last announcement I think I'll make is that a week from Monday, our Beth-El Civil Rights Trip is going. It's 18 or 20 people, a great group. Apparently, actually, if you want to go, you still can. It's going to be, the group is amazing as it is, so you're not really needed, but you'd be very welcome. You'd be very welcome.
You'd be welcomed and loved. And
Absolutely. It's not like they're depending on you to go. They're opening their our hearts and arms to welcome more. All right. We're going to make Kiddush and do Motzi. Jack,
he's
what happened?
stepped out for a moment.
Okay. Jack,
But,
do you want
there
like
he is.
a formal entrance?
You can raise the
Okay, let's
maize
rise.
and blue
Let's, what?
if you
Oh,
are
good for you,
you
such a
crave.
mensch. All right, come on.
You can
Grandma, Grandpa,
flag again
Mom,
and
come up.
again and again.
Be careful of the candles.
If
Who's going to
you
pour?
are for
Who's
Ukraine, raise the blue and the maize. It will amaze you when you raise the blue and maize.
Excellent. Let's rise. Come on, let's rise,
Won't you
everybody.
join us for Kiddush and then we'll
We're on page 5. Page 5, right?
Correctamundo, nachon.
Okay, here we are. Who's going to hold? You want to pick up the Kiddush cup? You
Hold it high. Hold it up high.
Exactly.
Is it full?
want to come back over to your family here? You
Yes.
might as well,
Want to
exactly.
bring the mic to him? Let's bring the mic to
I
him.
think so.
That's
you
good.
want- you
Yeah,
hold
bring the
this?
mic. Yeah, bring the mic.
Okay.
Hold on, Jack. There you go. Here we
All
go.
right.
Ready? Ba,
Baruch
ba,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'yahava v'ratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh b'reishi כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו.
Raise the glass real high.
ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Take a sip.
Drink a little, Jack. Are you
It's
18
juice.
yet?
It's good.
You're
It's
18.
just-
Come on, just drink it. We don't
Juice.
get to go on until you take a sip.
Actually, it's
Or
required.
maybe someone will take. Your
Yeah.
mom will. Or
Just a little sip, little sip. There you go.
You'll love it.
Whoa.
You'll
whoa.
love it.
You said a little sip.
All right, now, l'chaim, exactly.
L'chaim.
Okay, oops. Can you, here,
Why not?
We open that up. We open that up.
Okay.
We're gonna. Come on, take it out. Take it out. Take it out.
All right. Hamotzi.
Take one. Take two out and put them together. Two, like this. Put them like that. Raise it up high.
Baruch Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Baruch
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Amen. And you can, it's all right. No, you didn't. You were perfect. All right, you can take a little challah. Jack, take a bite. And we're going to close with, or you can tear it off or not. It's all right. All right. Share with your family, would you? Don't. Yes. Okay. We're going to close with, you can stay there and or not.
Okay, let's close with on page 333. Tzor mi shelo hachanu barechu emunai sahavanu vehotarnu kidbar Adonai sahavanu vehotarnu kidbar Adonai Tzor mi shelo hachanu barechu emunai sahavanu vehotarnu kidbar Adonai sahavanu vehotarnu kidbar Adonai.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Congratulations.
Nicely done, Scott. Yeah? Oh, good. Yeah, sure, of course.
Right?
Go behind.
Get up, here, stand up. Stand on the stool. There you
Cantor, come in, Cantor.
go. No, take one first you use.
Cantor, come in.
Here, we'll compare in a couple years. Awesome, dude. Congratulations. Weebelos. Weebelos. Hello. Hold on. Careful behind you. It's very,
Watch out.
there's some chords. Yep, good. Okay, here we go. Oh, hi.
Oh, this is
Hello.
1, 2, 3.
Shabbat shalom, Esther.
Thank you, Esther.
Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Oh, did you want here? Here we go. Here, hold this up, Jack. Well, got that? Good. You got your recording? Great. Awesome. Thank you, sir. See you in a couple weeks. Thank you, and so do you too. Well, you're already driving in. That's nuts. That's crazy. Wow. You are driving all the way in. Oh, wow. All right. There we go. You want to be in the picture, Dina? Yeah, here you go. Then I get stand up. There, wait, here we go. Stand in front of the flag. I'll hold it. You stand in front of the flag.
Like that?
Here we go. There we go. No, you're good, Jack. No, stand on the podium there. There you go. We can see you.
I can't, hold on, I can't do three things at once. Hold on.
Mel, we need to borrow the rabbi for a second. Okay. Just 1 second.
What are we
Okay,
doing?
here we go.
Yes.
All right,
Diana,
here
great.
we go. Awesome. Thank you.
You know what? My friends from Ukraine, they were here like 7 years ago.
All right, buddy.
On your service.
Ah, really?
Right. They're Ukrainian. So I was
I kind of remember that. I feel like I do remember. Yeah. Well, thank you. How you doing? Yeah, good. All right, that's good.